You had a week in Portugal last week, I believe, mate. How was that? Was the weather nice, and how was preparation?
Yeah, 10 nights we had. The weather was good. Certainly allowed us for some good field sessions. The field was outstanding, and all the time we were getting pictures of our own pitch under a few inches of snow. So it was great timing. Probably would have been a week where we wouldn't have got on the training field here. So certainly proved beneficial. Got plenty of work done on the training field, and got to build some memories away from the training ground as well. So seeing the players together in that environment was certainly useful. Helps bed in the new players, but also build on some existing relationships.
Yeah, this is something we're probably seeing more and more teams do now, but how beneficial is it for that teammate chemistry?
Yeah, I think it's crucial. I think if you look at salary cap sports now, and everyone's pretty much on a par in terms of sports science and analytics and things like that. So probably the culture and the team ethos can become one game that you can make if you can make it as strong as possible, and get the relationships as healthy as possible. Then it can pay off on the field for sure.
Over the years, how much have these pre-seasons changed? I mean, I'm sure you've seen a dramatic change from back in the day, but what is it? I guess the last 10 years, how much has it changed over those 10 years?
I think some things have changed in terms of as I mentioned, the sports science and some of the methodology behind the training. But I'd like to think, certainly within this club, what I'm seeing is, if you went back a decade, that it was built on hard work, and it's not much different now. So there has to be a consistency to your work. Some long, tough days for the players. There's no shying away from it. You can't skip that, no matter how fancy some of the machinery is, and some of the methods are. The lads have got to graft, and the staff have got to support them. So. Yeah, some things evolve, some things change, but also some things it's important you keep in place.
You've got some pre-season friendlies coming up, mate. We'll use this as an opportunity to test some new combinations and blood some of the new players that you've recruited over the last 12 months.
Yeah, certainly, particularly this Friday against Wakefield. It'll probably be a little bit young. Well, we'll be a younger squad with some first-team players, and then the whole game will be pretty much full strength, ready to prepare for round one against Castleford. So. Yeah, we know now pretty much what game time each player is going to get across the two games. It's been mapped out for a while, and even last week, going down to the Midlands allowed us to take a look at some of our younger players as well.
Obviously, we've got Penrith next month as well. How excited are you for the World Club Challenge?
Yeah, massively excited. I feel like the energy and optimism around the town is palpable, and the ticket sales has been great to track. I feel it's probably done quite a lot of the staff's work for them in terms of motivating the players through pre-season, knowing that they've got such an important fixture so early in the year meant that we didn't want to miss a day.
Now, talk to me about some of your new recruits. Obviously Luke Thompson comes in, he's a bit more of a senior figure now, and also I guess you got Adam Keighran as well coming in, a handy outside back. What impact have they had on the squad, and how are they fitting in here in Wigan?
Well, those two particular you mentioned, so I'll mention them. Luke has been outstanding. I feel like it's clear that why we've signed him. He's one of the he was one of the lead front rowers in the competition. He's an English lad, and he lives not far from here, so probably been quite an easy transition for Luke. He seems to be settling in well with the group, and he's certainly training well, so I'm excited to see what he can offer. I think he's someone we can expect to be a good player for us for a few years to come. And then Adam, I think he's a class act, really well-rounded player. Seems to have settled in on that right edge reasonably well in practice, and he's working out physically as well. So with Adam, I think it's as important that we help him and his young family settle in the area as well, and hopefully he's feeling that the whole club's wrapping around him to help him bed in, and a bit different to Luke, who's got friends and family in the area. Adam, I feel like we've got to look after him, make him feel loved at this club, and what he can do on the field is unquestionable.
You spoke earlier about how proud you are of how the academy and the development system is building here at Wigan. I guess, is there any players that are coming through that might have done a pre-season with you this year that we should keep an eye out for, or any that have stood out and impressed you this early in the year?
I'll just mention the two most recent ones that came up. I won't single anyone out for any reason other than that, but Jack Farrimond, a young halfback who came through the Lee Miners pathway in our scholarship. He's had a strong pre-season. He's a player we have high hopes for. And Nathan Law, he came from Lee East, and again through our scholarship. Very young players to be training with the first team, but they're acquitting themselves well. So I'm not sure if it'll be this year that you see them make their mark, but they're certainly ones to watch for the future, and I'm proud of how they're training.
And just one last question regarding the World Club Challenge next month. How do you stop this Penrith side?
I suppose by not concentrating too much on them. You know, we've won a competition in our own right, and it'll be about us finding our own best form. And I think they'll say the same. I think they won't concentrate too much on us. I think we're both champions in our own right, and if we can both find some of our best form, it should be a fantastic contest.
And a sellout as well. We heard this morning should be a full crowd.
Yeah, it'll be a full house, and I'm not particularly surprised. You know, it's been we've been able to feel it in the town for a year or two now that there's excitement around this group. Some of the players, the way they go about their work. So to have a contest and to welcome such a fantastic team as Penrith, I think people from Wigan and the surrounding areas will be really excited. And I wonder how many we could have sold if we had room.
And back to back in 2024, is it possible?
It's certainly possible, but we won't get it through talking about it or writing it on a wall. It's through nailing each training day and learning along the way, evolving as a group, and that's what we'll concentrate on. And at the end of the year, hopefully, we're in the big one.
All it would take was for Brad to turn his hips slightly towards the sideline, and if you watch when McMeekin comes underneath here, that hole between Brad and Cade Ellis would just open up, and Sam would just pass to Mike McMeekin there. And it'd probably be a walking track.
New year, mate. Fresh start here in Wigan. How are you finding it so far?
Good, mate. It's really good. Boys are really welcoming. The staff as well, and then obviously the facilities here are second to none. So can't complain. You know, you're coming here and you actually, you really enjoy it. So far, so good. Yeah.
Ended the year on probably not the way you wanted to end it, but you still got that experience of playing at Old Trafford in a grand final, mate. What was that experience like for you?
It was good, mate. It was it's probably a stadium that I haven't, that kind of stadium I haven't experienced before, where even the sizing of the field is a little bit odd. The in-goals were quite small. I'm not used to that, but the actual atmosphere and everything about it was unreal. But obviously, I didn't get the result, but second best thing, joined the team that beat me, so, can't complain.
Absolutely. How are you finding playing under Matty Peet, or I guess training under him? You haven't really had a chance to play under him yet, but how have you found, I guess, being a player under his coaching system?
He's really good, mate. He's caring for his players, which is one thing that I've noticed greatly since coming here. He's always checking in, always making sure the boys are going well. Not just here at training, but at home as well, which I find really, really helpful for me. Obviously, coming, making the big move, but in terms of coaching, he's got a great staff with him. Some ex-players there, and I think they've been together for quite a while. So that sort of connection that they have to bring to the players it's really cool to see, actually, and really cool to be under. And I can't complain. I'm happy to be here as well. So yeah.
How was the week in Portugal last week? I imagine the weather was a lot better than it is up here.
It's a little bit rainy some days, but all in all, it was good. It was intense, as you could imagine. Every team's footy camp at the start of the year during pre-season is obviously pretty intense, and everyone, ramps up for it. But no, it was really good. For me, I got to sort of get that connection with the team that probably would have taken a lot longer if it was just coming in here and then going home each day, where I could actually room with a few of the boys and go for, train each day, but also just spend time with them. So it was really good, and I felt like the team's come closer from that.
There's a few expats in this team as well, obviously Jay Field, Bevan French, you might even throw Luke Thompson in there as well after his return back to England, mate. How helpful have they been for settling you in this new community?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to room with Jay and Bev there, Abbas and Kate as well, so obviously get that sort of group there that, but we all have the same sort of thing, like sort of background there, and it was pretty cool that, that just sort of settled a bit, made the settling a bit easier. But obviously you have those kind of boys over here doing the same thing that I am. It's a bit more comforting, but it's really good.
How have you found that transition from the NRL over to Super League? Is there any key differences that you've picked up on since being here?
Probably the speed of the game isn't so fast, but I feel like the physicality is up there, and if not, more physical. In terms of the gameplay and things like that, I think a lot of teams have same structures and things like that, which is quite similar. But I think it's maybe just the speed's a little bit faster in NRL, but the physicality here is just similar, if not more. Yeah.
Looking ahead to this season, mate, do you have any personal goals that you're hoping to tick off in 2024?
I haven't really sat down and thought about that, to be honest, mate. Like, if I'm going off the top of my head, I think, like each player would obviously want it, but I think staying injury-free. So I think this sort of off-season, this pre-season, I've sort of focused a bit more on my diet and things like that. I've never really had issues with weight, like for say, but just cutting.
Lucky bugger.
Yeah, just cutting out the sort of often chocolates or anything like that. So I'm just trying to do that and just sort of make the body feel a bit better than what it has.
Do you think you found your home in the centres, mate? Do you think that's the position for you going forward, or can we expect to see you in other positions this year?
I think here at this team, I think definitely. I think the centres are the way to go. I think we've got some good halves and we've got some good halves coming through. So I don't think, touch wood, I don't think I'll need to go like in there. But if it does happen, I'm happy to jump in there. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and nail that centre role and just get a full season out there and really get that confidence and that comfortableness there. So yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a personal question, mate. Have you found any good local cafes where you can get your Aussie coffee caffeine hit, or are you not a coffee drinker?
No, I'm a big coffee drinker, mate. Old Bank's just down the road from me, just in Oral there. We've been there a couple of times, but I've got a coffee machine at home that I got sent over from Oz. I like to make my own coffee, and my missus enjoys it too. So save a bit of money there too.